I'm joined by my guests at this hour, former Indian cricketer Ashok Malhotra and cricket expert Anis Sajan. Ashok, coming to you, India 70 runs ahead in this test match. How much do you think they need to make to win this match? Do you think 150 is good enough?
I would like to see the bat 300 runs, to take the game away from South Africa, honestly. Because wickets have eased up a bit. And another plus point is India has got 4 fast bowlers, genuine fast bowlers. Whereas when you talk about South Africa, they got Rabada and Johnson. Barring that, Oliver really looks up and down, and Nagidi is not looking the Nagidi of the first test match. So he's been struggling with his rhythm and his line and length. So they have to go through the first spell of Rabada and Johnson, and then sky's the limit because Kohli is ready for a big knock. Pujara is playing like a new find talent with a very positive intent. And then you have got Rahane, who wants to prove a point. He knows it's do and die for him. And then Rishabh Pant, and all the way down the order. So I have got no doubt in my mind that we have our noses ahead and India is going to win this test match, hands down.
Anis, what do you say? India has their noses ahead, or right now it is even Stevens?
I remember, Rika, during the second test match, after the second days, your first line was that India have the noses ahead, and it was at the same exact position. The only difference was at that time we did not have Virat Kohli, and this time we do have Virat Kohli at the crease. So that probably gives India the edge. But mind you, 1 wicket of Virat Kohli, and then we'll be back to square one. And if we again put up a total of just 200, like Ashok Malhotra sir said, at least we need to score 250 odd plus or 300 runs to bat of South Africa out. And if Virat Kohli bats till T, India should be able to reach there.
Given what Anis said, Ashok, would you say then the first hour of play tomorrow is most crucial? Because we've seen how Rabada is steaming in and Marco Jansen is also steaming in. If they get quick wickets, then it'll be trouble for India once again.
Definitely. First hour is very, very vital. If they pick up a couple of wickets in the first hour, then it's even Stevens, if I may say. Because on this wicket, even 200 in the fourth inning is not going to be easy. Especially if you can get rid of Elgar as early as possible. But the fact is, I would say, 300. 300 will be a par total. Because last test match, we lost the game because we were a bowler short. This time we got all 4 bowlers ready and raring to go. So I've got no doubt in my mind. We have our noses ahead, and by tea tomorrow we'll be totally ahead of the game, and South Africa will be trying to save the game.
Anis, 11 wickets fell on day 1, 11 more wickets on day 2. Had this happened in Ahmedabad or some other stadium, maybe in Delhi, pitch would have been called to question. What do you say of the wicket that you saw at the Newland Stadium?
You're spot on, Rika. When it happens on Indian spinning wickets, the Goras of the so-called Englishmen, especially Michael Vaughan, comes out with a tweet that Indian wickets are bad, this, that. And when it happens in England or in Australia or as we have seen in South Africa, throughout the series, wickets have been falling left, right and center. But there is no noise from anywhere. That time they say that you talk about your technique and everything. But as Virat Kohli has said that we are ready to play in any conditions, and he's proved it that we won almost everywhere. And if Ashok Malhotra sir's word comes true, that if you're going to win tomorrow, we're going to win one more frontier. And that's what Virat Kohli's goal will be. And I hope we don't jinx him and we win this match.
Ashok, going back to you and talking about how Marco Jansen bowled to Virat Kohli at the end of the day, coming round the wicket, do you see that was a good technique deployed by the South Africans, or was that not the correct way to bowl at Virat Kohli?
I think that was not the correct way, because you're playing into the hands of Virat Kohli. The way it was easy for him to cover driver.
Right.
When you're bowling over the wicket, then the angle takes the ball away, like it happened with the KL Rahul. So over the wicket probably is a better line which he has to bowl from. But the fact is, as I said before, Rika, this spell, first 10 overs, tomorrow, first 10 overs, if we go through that, Pujara and Virat, I see then South Africa struggling. I know they are not a very strong batting unit. If there is a target of 300, they're bound to struggle a bit, especially with the Dean Elgar, if he can pick his wicket early, because he's the anchor. Around him the entire South African batting revolves around. Because I know Peterson got runs, I know Bavuma has got runs, but the fact is they are still new to this Test cricket, and when the pressure mounts, then people tend to fall away. So it might happen, but the fact is we have got world-class batters in our side, whereas when you talk about South Africa, except for Elgar, they don't have even any other world-class player.
Anis, Virat Kohli scored 79 in the first innings. When you look at him, the way he batted today, he's unbeaten. In fact, would you say he's in the same zone?
Oh, yes, he knows where his off stump is, and he's only driving the ball when it comes straight. He's not putting his leg across. That's what Sunil Gavaskar also pointed. And as long as he's able to curb his instinct of not chasing ball outside the off stump, and it has to be patience. And I'm afraid today's shot of KL Rahul was a loose shot. That ball could have been easily played. And if Virat Kohli makes the same mistake, we're talking about 1 hour. But mind you, the moment, in fact, I was watching both the dressing rooms. Everybody wants Virat Kohli at the crease, like Indian dressing room wants him at the crease, and the opposition wants him at the yard. The moment your captain goes, there will be butterflies in the Indian camp. And if Virat Kohli's wicket we lose before lunchtime, who knows, a 200 target, as long as we think it will be difficult. But India will be also under pressure, even though we have four fast bowlers.
Well, India will be under pressure even though we have fast bowlers. Ashok, coming back to you on the topic of Jasprit Bumrah, would you say life has come a full circle for him? It is here that he started his journey back in 2018, coming back here to take a 5-wicket haul today. What would you say of that journey?
See, he's phenomenal. I know we talked about him, he's not picking up wickets, but the way he's bounced back, it's like he wanted to prove all of us wrong. The way he bowled Markram last match, he bowled Dussert. So he's a special talent. He brings the ball back in, he can take the ball away, and then he's very skinny kind of bowler with a very unorthodox action. I think a lot of coaches and experts must be wondering how this guy generates so much pace, walking for 4 or 5 yards. He's a phenomenon. I don't know what to talk about him. He's a very, very special talent, and I hope he remains fit. The great thing for us is I hope we have his workload should be monitored, and he should remain fit for another 5-10 years for India.
Anis, I remember we were talking about him in the last test when he had that face-off with Marco Jansen, and you said he should go back, have a good night's sleep and come back. You think Jasprit Bumrah, looking at this Bumrah, he's rested well, and hence this performance from him at the Newlands Park?
Well, you can say he's rested well, but in fact, I was hoping that you asked me this question, Rekha, because I don't want him to come and bat, because he's going to be battered and bruised with bouncers by the South African bowlers, as he did to the South African batsmen today. So if India put on the thinking cap, I know we would like to have that extra 10-15 runs from Bumrah. I would rather have a Bumrah come on to bowl than to bat, because they are going to batter him, and it should not get into his head, because if that gets into his head, we saw what happened in the last test match. We want Bumrah as a bowler, we don't want Bumrah as a batsman.
Yes, we won't.
Yes. But Rika, if I may add something, a fast bowler, older days never used to bounce the faster bowlers, because they were scared of getting bounced out. But modern day guys, they are not intimidated. They take them all. Like Bumrah, he's not much to speak about his batting, but he takes them all on. And I honestly, I told you in the last show, I was very, very pleased. He bounced out, scared the hell out of Jensen and Oliver. So I loved it. Loved every minute of it. We have been bounced out a number of times. It's up now. Since these 3-4 fast bowlers have come, who are scared of our fast bowlers. It was a sight to behold.
Right, and the inducker with which he got Aiden Markram today, took off his off stump was the star delivery of the day, of the second day of Cape Town Test. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on the broadcast this evening. With that, a wrap on Turning Point. Thank you very much for watching.